Good day, everyone. We, the group today, will be exploring the fascinating world of the atomic structure, which form the basis of all matters in the universe. Atoms are the building blocks of everything around us, and understanding their concept help us to comprehend the nature of physics, chemistry, and even the universe itself. So first, what is an atom? An atom are the smallest unit of matter that retains the properties in the element. Atoms are the single particles, and if they combine, they form a molecule, which the molecule bond together held by a strong force. And if you remember, the group matakal about the solid, liquid, and gas, and connected siya sa topic natin. The example for this is, if the hydrogen molecule and the oxygen molecule combine, they form a water molecule. So, if sa by numbering naman, magiging H2 siya, then ito, 2. If nag-combine sila, meron tayong H2O. So, next is, atoms are composed of 3 subatomic particles. So, as you can see in our atomic structure, we have here the 3 subatomic particles, which are the blue represent the electron and the red one represent the protons, while the yellow one represent the neutrons. So protons are the positively charged particles that located in the atom's nucleus, while the neutrons, these are the neutral particles with no charge that also reside in the atom's nucleus. While the electrons, these are the negatively charged particles that located in the electron orbit with a various energy level. So meron tayong tinatawag na fundamental particle and elementary particle, which yung fundamental particle is under ng electron, while the elementary particle is under naman siya ng neutrons. Nababasa niyo ba? Yes! Ito, elementary particle. Itong mga particle na ito yung pinakamaliit. Then, sa fundamental particle, tinatawag yun na leptons. Tapos sa elementary naman, tinatawag siyang quarks. So, as you can see, if the protons and neutrons combine, we call this part nucleus. Yan. Yan, brother yan. Imagine yung image yan. Wow! The protons and neutrons form a dense central core, while the electron located in the electron cloud or electron orbit surrounding with the nucleus. That's all now. Let's proceed to models evolution. The start of development of atomic theory, it all began with Democritus, a philosopher who proposed that matter could be not divided endlessly. Instead, he imagined it was made of tiny, indivisible particles called atoms. Atomos is a Greek word meaning unfathomable, though his ideas were largely philosophical and lacked experimental evidence. The second one is John Dalton. In 1803, Dalton introduced the atomic theory, which stated that atoms are indivisible and each element are made of identical atoms.
So, proceed naman tayo sa pangatlong persons na nag-describe ng plurinational evolutions. So, here we have Ernest Rutherford, born in August 30, 1871, and died in October 19, 1937. Noong 1897, pinapose niya ang tinatawag na pinapose niya ang tinatawag na nuclear model using Feingold method. Dahil doon, pero ang pinakauna doon na nag-propose ay si Joseph John Thomson, aka J.J. Thomson, born in December 18, 1856 and died in August 13, 1940. Dahil doon sa theory ni John Dalton, na-curious siya, tapos gusto niya ulit parang i-emphasize or palawakin pa yung tawag na atoms, yung atom theory. So, binigyan niya lang ito ng paliwanag, then nag-description or gumawa siya ng experiment niya tungkol dito. Then, dahil sa using couple ray, dahil sa hindi niya masyadong ma-clarify yung image ng isang ng atom, gumawa siya ng image na kung saan dito makikita yung positive charge, and dito sa labas naman yung mga negative charge. Na kung saan yung positive at saka yung negative ay nag-embed to each other. Then, proceed naman tayo kay Ernest Rutherford. So, sabi nga doon, si Ernest Rutherford naman ang nagtatag sa theory ni John Thomson. Tapos, dahil doon, dinadagan niya to, tinawag naman niya to, using Cold-Cold method, tinawag niya naman to nuclear model. Na kung saan, makikita mo dito yung protons and neutrons na magkakadikit. Then, surrounded siya sa orbital. Ang tinatawag natin. Then, yung mga candidate na nakadikit dito sa gilid, yun yung tinatawag na electrons. Then, proceed naman tayo kay Niels Henrik Bohr, o mas kilalang Niels Bohr. So, dahil doon, siya naman ngayon na nagdagdag ng ideya ni Rutherford. Galing, di ba? Wow! Ito naman ngayon yung tinatawag na ngayon na planetary model, which is image by this form. Na kung saan yung nucleus or yung nuclear nandito sa gitna and surrounded siya parang nandun sa orbital. Then, nakaano naman siya ngayon dito sa side ng mga electrons na tinatawag na ngayon negative charge. So, kung mapapansin nyo, para siyang planeta, di ba? Kasi ito, mukha siyang araw na pinalibutan ng mga planeta sa gilid or iniikutan ng planeta sa gilid. So, yun ang tinatawag na planetary model. Tapos, meron pa, last but not the least, Ernest Schrödinger. She proposed that we call quantum mechanical model. Kung saan, dito sa quantum mechanical model, makikita mo dito yung nucleus, then makikita mo dito yung wavy, surrounded by the orbital, and ito, yung tinatawag natin na sa pang-orbital niya, naka-precise dito sa, or nakapalibot or nakakonekta dito mismo sa ating nucleus. Tapos ito naman yung tinatawag natin orbital, nag-represent siya because of the cloud charges. Na kung saan, yung negative at saka yung positive nasa gilid at saka yung nucleus na dito nasa gitna. Yun lang po.
proceed to the atomic number, mass number, and the isotopes. So we have here the A is equal to J plus N. May idea ba kayo kung ano yun? Wala! Tapos meron din tayong ganito. HE. Tapos may number sa natin. Saan nito most pinakikita? Periodic table! Alam na kung anong ibig sabihin. Take ng numbers.
Mass niya. Mass atom number.
Atomic number.
Sige, mass number. So, we have here the A is equal to J plus N. Then the HE, which is the helium, and number na 4 to 2 yan. Mali lang. Then, the A, it is the symbol for mass number. Mass number. While the J, it represents the atomic number. While the N, it represents the neutrons number. So as you can see, itong blue, sa periodic table, makikita nyo na yung sa number na nasa taas, nire-represent niya yung number ng mass number. Then yung Z naman, nire-represent niya yung ano? Atomic number. Then ito sa dito sa kabila, nire-represent niya naman yung neutron number. So, atomic number, the symbol Z, it is the number of protons in the atom's nucleus. So, ito yun. For example, dito, yung sa red natin, meron tayong, 1, 2, 3, 4, apat na red. So, ayun yung number ng atomic number. Atomic number. Yes. And dindetermine na rin yung ibig sabihin ay ng chemical elements, for example, the hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. Then, the mass number, which is the symbol A, it is the total number of protons and neutrons in atom's nucleus. And in calculating the A, is equal to J, which is the protons, plus N, which is the neutrons. And now, let's proceed to the isotopes.
Ay, hindi alam po. Ay, sa office.
Isotopes. Isotopes are each of two forms of the same element that contain equal numbers of protons but different numbers of neutrons. So isotopes are like versions of an element. Due to their unique properties, they have many applications in research, medicine, and industry. All isotopes have the same number of protons but then have different numbers of neutrons. So for example, here is the hydrogen. Hydrogen always has one proton but can have 1, 2, or 3 neutrons, making these some isotopes of hydrogen. There are two types of isotopes. First is the stable isotopes, which is also called the non-radioactive isotopes. Stable isotopes are non-radioactive forms of atoms, although they do not emit radiation their unique properties enable them to be used in a broad variety of applications. So isotopes have a balance ratio of proton to neutron in their nucleus. This makes them not decay over time and continuous to study things like the chemical composition of the rock. Then the second one is the unstable isotopes, also called the radioactive isotopes. Radioactive isotopes are isotopes that holds too many or too few neutrons to retain its stability. The atom decays and produces radiation. So isotopes have, unlike stable isotopes, have an unbalanced ratio of protons to neutrons in the nucleus. Due to this, they are unstable and may decay over time and emit radiation. So, sa mutations naman, there are two types of mutations. First is the isotope mutation. Isotope mutation is a way of representing different isotopes of an element, which are atoms with the same number of protons but different numbers of neutrons. It includes the element's chemical symbol, the mass number, and the atomic number. So isotopes is a simple way of representing an isotope of an element, and it looks like this. So, for example, is the carbon curve, where carbon has a chemical symbol also, and the mass number is given in this curve. Then sa atomic number naman is the pwede tayo mag-base sa periodic table para malaman yung atomic number nila. So for carbon, it's number 6. Then sa high penetration is a way to rewrite the name of an isotope, which is an atom of an element with the different numbers of neutrons than other atoms of that element. In high penetration, the element's name is written and followed by a hyphen and then the mass number. So the two-form where X is the element's name followed by a hyphen and A is the mass number. So for example, it's the carbon hyphen and then 12, which is the mass number.
basahin nyo para mas maintindihan nyo yung pagkakaiba ng atomic number, mass number, and picture. Go. Atomic number. 3. Mass number. 8. Determine isolates. Zay.
Correct number!
Anong tawag dyan?
Zay.
Simple siya, shortcut siya for the A class, A is equal to Z class. Eh, yung formula nila, para mas madali matandaan. Oh, ito.
Mass number.
Mass number. Shortcut.
Formula.
Ano ibig sabihin dito? Anong
Determine.
Okay, thank you for section 12. Now let's proceed sa another urban topic namin. Good afternoon, SQ1D8. I am Krisha Tango, and I am glad to see you today and discuss about the electron configuration. So, the arrangement of electrons or electrons in an atom is called electron configuration. Electrons feels energy in a specific order. It starts in the innermost part being the first until it goes down to the outermost part level. Electron configuration influences how atoms interact, create a chemical bond and form a compound. So, to be able to understand and remember the electron configuration, I will write down the chart to you guys and give each notation their data. Yung unang is siya yung superscript. Siya rin yung number ng electrons sa configuration. And itong S is tinatawag na orbital type. And S means sa S group sa periodic table, yung mga elements doon is contain ng alkali metals, and alkali earth metals. And itong math is tinatawag na principal. Sa orbital type, merong ito yung S, P, D, and L. Yung S is the sharp, yung P is the principal, yung D D is tinatawag na diffuse. And yung F is tinatawag na fundamental. And sa ano naman, sa p orbital, yung mga naman ng elements, protein, basic, and sa ano naman, sa T, yung mga elements na nandoon is puro siya mga late transition metals. While yung F naman, F orbital naman is yung mga elements na nandun is naglalaman ng alkanine. Alkanine metals. And alkanine. So, after natin i-determine yung labels ng each mutation, ilalagay naman natin, sulat ko naman yung buong chart ng electron configuration. So, meron tayo 1S2, 2S2, at 2S2, 3S2, 4S2, 4S2, 5S2, S2, 7S2, next is yung p orbital. So may nakakaalala bang kung ilan yung electrons na kinocontain ng p orbital? 4.
4P6, 5P6, 6P6, 7P6.
So sa ano naman, sa d orbital, may nakakaalala bang 3.
Oh, then pa.
5F14, 6F14, 7F14.
So, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, babasahin natin siya. Mag-start tayo dito sa innermost part hanggang mapunta dito sa outermost part. So, dahil alam na natin electron configuration, itry naman natin i-solve kung paano makuha yung electron configuration ng mga elements sa periodic table. So, sa periodic table naman, magkakaroon tayo ng tatlong example. Sulat ko yung symbol kung sasabihin mo kung anong element. Very good. So, ito yung tinatawag na symbol. And ito yung atomic weight. So, yung atomic number. So, para makuha yung electron configuration ng elements, dapat yung atomic number is yung siya ng value sa electron configuration ito, which is itong 2 dito. So, sino nakakaalam ng B symbol sa periodic table? So, para makuha yung electron configuration ng variable beam na element, dapat itong electron na nasa configuration is same siya ng value sa atomic number. So, paano yun? Ipag-add lang natin itong mga nandito hanggang sa makakuha tayo ng 4. So, mag-start tayo dito sa 1s2. 1s2. So, dahil kailangan natin electron is apat at meron na tayong dalawa. Ilan tayo po na? Dalawa! So, saan tayo magmumula? 2p6 or 2s2? 2s2! So, pag pinag-add pa siya, equal siya sa 4?
Yes!
So, ito na yung electron configuration ng element after.
Galing!
So, ano nga ulit tawag dito? Atomic weight. And ito, anong element siya? Hydrogen. And itong 7, ano siya? Atomic number. So, ganun ulit yung gagawin natin is mag-add tayo ng mga electron hanggang sa makuha natin yung 7. So, magsisimula ulit tayo sa 1s2. 1s2. So, dahil meron lang tayong dalawang electron, ilan pa yung kailangan natin para saan ulit tayo ng
Sabi 2 and 3s2.
meron na tayong 4. Ilan na lang yung kulang?
Dalawa.
Saan yung next? Dito ba sa
3s2.
3s2. Dito sa BC6. Maganda siya. Pag pinatag mo ba yung itong 4 electron at itong 6 is mag-equal siya sa 7? Diba? So yung gagawin natin is babawasan natin yung electron. Ilan na lang ang kailangan natin para magiging
2p3.
So, itong 2p6, babawasan natin ng 3. So, may matitira ng 3 ulit. So, sulat natin siya dito. 2, 3. Pag pinag-ano pa silang lahat, magiging 7 siya.
Next is periodic table. It is a systematic arrangement of all known chemical elements based on their atomic number. Periodic table organizes all elements based on their atomic number and electron configuration. Elements in the same column called groups share similar properties because they have similar electron configuration in their outermost shells. Next is the blocks of periodic table, the SPDF. Gaya nga sinabi kanina ni Tresha, is yung SPDF stands for sharp, principal, diffuse, and fundamental. S blocks, ito po yung S blocks 1 and 2, groups 1 and 2. These are alkaline and alkaline earth metals. As next is yung P blocks, groups 13 to 18. Ito naman yung mga basic metal, non-metal, non-halogens, and noble gases. As next is yung D-blocks. D-blocks are groups 3 to 12. These groups are late and early transition metals. Tapos yung last is yung F-blocks. F-blocks are lanthanides and actinides. As next is yung half-filled and full-filled subshells. Stable configuration. These configurations are exceptionally stable due to symmetrical electron distribution and energy exchange. Para malaman kung ito ba ay half-filled or full-filled is gagamitin natin yung orbital box notation. Pero bago yun, alam nyo, for example is chromium and copper. Pero bago yun, alamin muna natin yung electron configuration nila. Ang atomic number ng chromium is 24. Certain ko na ba or... May expected na electron configuration dahil hindi siya unusual siya na electron configuration dahil sa stability preferences. Kaya ililipat natin yung 1 ng 2 sa 3D4 para maging 4S1 to 3D5. Kasi mas stable siya dahil sa electron symmetry and energy exchange. You can see ito, hindi siya kompleto, kaya expected namin na unusual talaga siya. Tapos dito naman is mas mas stable siya. Sa pagbibilang ng electron configuration sa orbital box notation is mauuna lagi yung patayo. Nakalagay dito is 1 lang, kaya 1 lang to. Tapos dito naman 5, kaya 4, kaya 5 rin dito.
Tawag kasi ng tao.
Next is yung copper. Ang atomic number ng copper is 29.
Ano na?
Ganun rin dito, may expected tsaka actual. Parang dito lang. Kasi mas stable nga dito.
Tapos
pag may
Kasi yung 1A is kulang dito ng isa. Kaya, nilipat natin yung 1 dito. Kaya naging 10 to para maging kompleto. Ito na po yung half field, tapos ito naman yung full field. Yun lang po, thank you. Now let's talk about atomic bonding. Group 1 already talk about atomic bonding. Atomic bonding is a process. It's a process which atoms are shared or transfer electron. Transfer electron to create a molecules and elements. Now, ionic bonding. Ionic bonding is an atom that transfer electron resulting in positively and negatively charged ions that attract each other. This occurs between non-metal and metal. Let's example, sodium. Sodium, Na, and chlorine. In metal, like sodium, have a 3 or 1 or 3 electrons in their outer shell. For example, in sodium, have only one electrons in their outer shell, and chlorine have a 7. Ito yun. Tapos, yung atoms, gusto nila mapull yung shell nila. So, they make a deal. Sodium gives his electrons to chlorine. Binigay niya yung electron niya dito sa chlorine. Tapos, meron na silang full outer shell. Pagkatapos niyang binigay yung yung electrons, itong sodium naman ay naging negative. Tapos ito namang itong chlorine naging positive. Dahil sa opposite silang charge, nagdikit sila. Tapos, madami ding electrons na nagdikit. Tapos, nakagawa, sobrang dami nila. Ganyan. Pinarin ko dami yan. Ito tawag dito ay diane lattice. Yan. Next naman is covalent bonding. Covalent bonding is a atom share electrons to achieve stable electron configuration. This bond typically have a non-metal electrons. Okay. For example, in water, oxygen and hydrogen. Yung hydrogen, meron siyang isang electron, tapos ito namang oxygen, meron siyang 6. Pero hindi siya katulad ni ionic band, tayo transfer yung electrons. Yung ginawa nila ay nag-share sila. Ganito yun. Ito ganito yung itsura, nag-share sila, hindi na binigay. Yun. Tapos, next naman is metallic bonding. In metal, yung metal, for example, yung iron, meron siyang dalawang electrons. Tapos, hindi sila nagtatransfer nag-share sila ng electrons. So, ganito yan. Itong electrons naman, nagtatravel din sa mga kasi nag-share din sila. Tapos, yun lang.
Nagtatransfer yung first atoms sa mga atom. For example, dito, yung atom 1, isa lang siya. Then, nag-transfer siya dito sa pangalawang atom, which is nag-combine sila. Pero nag-transfer lang yung red one dito, kaya magiging ganito siya. And makakabuo sila ng ionic molecule. While sa covalent bonding naman, nag-share sila ng electron between sa atoms. Yung non-metal and yung non-metal or yung isang metalloid, di ba, unpaired valence electrons sila. Then, pag nag-share sila ng electrons, walang matatransfer, pero magsasama lang sila or magbaband lang sila together. While sa metallic bonding naman, dinedecolize lang nila yung electrons or yung alloys and metals. Like dito yung metallic bonding, makikita nyo na nagbaban sila and nag-share lang sila ng electrons sa metal ions.
In conclusion, the structure of an atom is essential to our understanding of how matter behaves. From the ancient theories of computers to the quantum mechanical model, our understanding of atomic structure has evolved greatly in the past years.
So the study of atoms not only explain to us the properties of matter but opens up advancement for technology, chemistry, and physics. So by learning about atoms, we better understand the world around us and the fundamental blocks of everything in the universe. So thank you for your